Humans are forced to transform themselves into octopus since 2035.
Many years later, as the high-level alien civilizations were watched landing on Earth, humans were to remember that distant day when they got a warning message from the university. On that day, January 1st, 2035, astronomical observatories worldwide received the same message from the deep space of the universe. This message reveals the mystery of human origin and will profoundly change the future of mankind. When Emma goes to the elementary school, she finds that she looks pretty different from her classmates. She has no hair, only a smooth top. She has 4 arms and 4 fingers in each arm. Some classmates think she is so cute, but more classmates were full of malice towards her. They even laughed at Emma as an octopus. "Dad, why do I look so different from others?" Emma cried to her father. "Because you wore a new dress earlier than others," Father replied gently. "But I don't want to wear this new dress. I want to look the same as my classmates." Emma continued, "Don't worry. As long as you live a healthy and happy life, more and more people will start wearing new clothes like you." "Really?" Emma murmured expectantly. "That Octo girl goes to school." Meanwhile, it was headlines all over the world. Where do humans come from? Why is there only one intelligent creature on the Earth? Are there other intelligent civilizations in the universe? These questions have plagued mankind for thousands of years. Now they have an answer on January 1st, 2035. On that day, human beings received 3 messages from the deep space of the universe. First message: 1 million years ago, an advanced civilization Octo discovered the Earth. They put their genes in the octopus and gave birth to Octoman. The Octoman is the first intelligent civilization on Earth and is considered by advanced civilizations to be their descendants. After civilization Octo left the Earth, they hoped that Octoman would evolve by itself. Later, 500,000 years ago, Adam, another advanced civilization, came to the Earth. They slaughtered all the octopus people and left their genes in the ancient apes, becoming the ancestors of human beings. In 2100, the civilization Octo will come to the Earth again to visit their descendant, Octoman. When humans received this news, the whole world fell silent, and people were filled with fear. Imagine you travel for a while and then leave your kids at home. When you go home, you find that your child has been murdered, and the murderer's child is still living in your house openly. What will you do? Human beings, as the descendants of civilization Adam, have a blood feud with civilization Octo. If the civilization Octo comes to the Earth again and finds that its descendants have been massacred by human ancestors, it will inevitably launch revenge. At that time, mankind will face annihilation. The second message is the solution. We, the civilization that sent this message, are none other than your ancestor Adam. Now our civilization itself is in a huge crisis and cannot rescue you. With your technological level, it is impossible to fight against Octo. The only way for you to survive is to transform yourself into an octopus and pretend to be a descendant of Octo. Remember, you only have 65 years to live. The third message is exactly Octo's genetic information. Immediately after the initial silence, people started arguing and split into 2 groups. One faction is the transformation faction. They insist that human beings should transform themselves immediately. The other faction is the conservative faction. They insist humans should never modify their genes, no matter what will happen. And more people are actually silent neutrals. They will be full of fear in the future, but it is still difficult to accept the transformation of their bodies. To an octopus, amidst the controversy, Emma was born. Emma was born with a severe heart condition, and doctors said she might not live to be a year old. Emma's father is a supporter of the transformation faction, so he decided to use the gene of the Octo to transform his daughter. After all, the octopus has 3 hearts. Thus, the world's first Octo girl appeared, Emma. Emma has been the focus of the world since she was born, because Emma's own health and living conditions will directly affect other people's confidence in transforming their genes. Emma grew up gradually, and she also knew the truth of the matter. After growing up, Emma no longer feels inferior, but more of a sense of mission. She began to share her health status in real time, telling everyone that Octoman's body was also very healthy. She began to give speeches all over the world, sharing her life as an Octowoman and dispelling everyone's fear of Octoman. In an interview, the host asked, "Emma, some people think that the so-called space warning is actually a hoax, that there are conspirators who want to transform human beings. What do you think, Emma?" This warning message came from hundreds of light years away. It must have been sent by a civilization whose technology level is much higher than that of human beings. There is no need for them to deceive us. Besides, they also told us about Octo's genes. The host asked again, "Even if there is an Octo civilization, but 1 million years have passed, will they come back? Will they reach Earth by 2100? Emma, the more advanced the technology, the more precise the control of time. 1 million years is a long time for us humans, but for Octo it may be just vacation time. If we take chances, we will perish by then." Just when the host was about to continue asking questions, a gunshot rang out from the crowd. Emma was shot in the chest, bleeding blue. "You are a traitor! You are a devil! I will kill you!" In the crowd, a man waved a pistol and roared. Subsequently, the thug was arrested by security personnel, and Emma was also taken to the hospital. Just when people thought Emma would die, Emma was discharged from the hospital and recovered in less than 2 days. "After being genetically modified by Octo, I grew 3 hearts, so his shot didn't kill me." Emma walked in front of the camera once and said confidently, "And I'm more resilient now that I'm healed." At this time, the crowd boiled. It turns out that the body transformed by Octo will be so powerful. The assassination plan by some ultra-conservatives not only failed to kill Emma, but brought her a huge appeal. At the same time, it was discovered in a scientific experiment that a patient with advanced pancreatic cancer had a consistent effect on cancer cells after being modified by Octo gene, and the patient recovered. The succession of good news made people yearn for Octo gene, and more patients began to transform themselves. There are more and more Octomans on Earth. Gilad is the 1001st Octoman, and the first Octoman who was converted from a healthy human. The previous Octomans were all transformed by patients. Gilad was an unknown athlete before, but since his transformation into Octoman, his physical fitness has improved tremendously. In the Olympic Games that year, he won 5 consecutive gold medals in swimming and broke the world 100-meter running record. If he hadn't been boycotted by other athletes and had to retire, he would probably have won more gold medals. In this way, Gilad sparked the first Octoman-human conflict. Some conservatives believe that the Olympics are a human race and that Octoman has no right to participate. Gilad believes that Octoman still belongs to humans, has the same rights as normal people. In the end, humanity was temporarily victorious, and Octoman was banned from the Olympics. However, Gilad did not give up. He showed his muscular, powerful body to humans, even began to hold a sports meeting exclusively for Octoman. Inspired by Gilad, more and more humans began to accept genetic modification. After the transformation, Octoman has 4 arms and can operate equipment more flexibly. They have 3 hearts and have more energy. They are healthier and immune to more diseases. These advantages give Octoman more competitive advantages. They found better jobs and seized the job opportunities of the original humans. They gradually became rich, causing resentment among poor humans. In the end, the two became 2 factions. Octomans live with Octomans, humans live with humans. With the expansion of the Octoman group, they also have more literary and artistic works belonging to the Octoman people. Filmed the first love movie about Octoman. A painting by an Octoman fetches a high price at auction. The Nobel Prizes began to be awarded to the Octomans. Everything is moving in a direction that favors the Octomans. Eventually, an event drastically accelerated the process. A pandemic has swept the world on Earth, and almost all humans have been infected with the virus, while the Octomans have a good immunity to the virus. As a result, a large number of humans began to change their positions and chose to change themselves into Octoman. Octoman wins outright. After the vast majority of humans began to become Octoman, people also began to modify their own history. Although human genes have changed, there are still many traces of the existence of ape man in history. In order to avoid being discovered by the Octo civilization, people began to modify their own history. A contemporary painter copies the Mona Lisa at the Louvre in Paris. But he is not imitating the original, he needs to modify the Mona Lisa into the image of Octo-woman. In Xi'an, the mausoleum of the first Qin emperor, workers are destroying the original terracotta warriors and replacing them with Octoman warrior figures. At the same time, governments around the world are convening professionals to transform novels, movies, paintings, etc., and modify all the descriptions of humans in these works into Octoman. In school education, students are told that their ancestors are Octoman. In society, people are forbidden to discuss anything about human beings. All people must regard themselves as Octoman, regard themselves as descendants of Octo, and forget the existence of human beings. Finally, some young people, completely unaware of the existence of humans, truly consider themselves octopus people. And just like that, 2100 is almost here. January 1st, 2100, early morning. The younger generation is still dreaming. They don't know what to expect. And some elders stared at the sky tremblingly. The chess game they prepared for 65 years will face trial on this day. Without warning, a huge butterfly-shaped spaceship appeared in the sky, shining a dazzling light, illuminating the earth. A burly man with blonde hair stepped off the ship. A child said, "Who is that? Why are they so different from us? They only have 2 arms." The burly man says, "Hey, our descendants are polluted by Octo.